Hey guys, Dave Syvertsen back from Ourlads Scouting Services. We're going to run through our top 5 quarterbacks right now. I emphasize right now. Things at this stage are so far from being final, and this is just what I'm seeing through film study. There's a lot of consultation that we do with the rest of the Ourlads staff between now and when we release our final stacks and draft guide, which comes out in April, and we haven't gotten to that point yet. So this is just where I'm sitting right now before we talk with those guys and come up with our consensus Ourlads top 5 quarterbacks. Going to start it off with Jayden Daniels at number 1. This is a dual threat with Lamar-type running ability, and this is the first time I've ever used that reference with a running quarterback. He led all non-running backs in FBS with 1,250 yards, an amazing 10.4 yards per carry, and second in yards after contact per carry in 2023. In 2022, he also led non-running backs in FBS with 1,079 yards. Who's the last Power 5 quarterback to lead the nation back-to-back years in rushing? You guessed it, Lamar Jackson, 2016, 2017. Daniels was more productive after contact and fumbled just 7 times versus Lamar's 21 fumbles. Not only did Daniels lead the country in both passing and running plays of over 30 and 40 yards, but he also led the country in passing efficiency by a country mile. One question I have is, can the body type withstand the beatings from NFL defenders? Last spring, he weighed in under 190 pounds. He's got a sub 76-inch wingspan, and I'm not really sure where he's going to weigh in at the combine. I know he's listed at around 205, 210. That might be soaking wet, but that's a red flag when you see 76-inch wingspan and under 210 pounds at that quarterback position. Number 2 is Caleb Williams. The creativity and innovation skills, this is the kind of guy you do not want to face up against with 2 minutes left and you have a 4-point lead. He led the country in passing plays over 50 yards, and the fact that you just have to defend this guy for so long. In 2022, he led the country with 3.25 seconds time to throw per pass play, right? He ranked 5th in the country in 2023 with 3.16. You want to know who else came from this Lincoln Riley system that both had over 3 seconds time to throw? Was Kyler Murray and Jalen Hurts. Now, those two have had their fair share of ups and downs in the NFL, but nobody wants to game plan against those guys. Caleb Williams comes into the league with better passing ability than them, but also that sixth sense of when to push and when not to. The one question I have is, can he learn to balance playing on schedule versus creating on his own? He had 14 interceptions and 33 fumbles. That makes him turnover prone. There is no question, there is no denying that. Turnovers are the one team stat most directly related to winning and losing in the NFL. Drake Maye is coming in at number 3. He's a downfield passer. He's easy and willing to get that ball vertical. He had an NFL passer rating of over 115 deep and intermediate left. He does not have inflated stats from screen passes. His wide receivers dropped over 8% of the completions that they had, second highest among Power 5 quarterbacks with over 300 dropbacks. He's got that pocket awareness and maneuverability. He's got the sixth sense in the pocket, finds space while progressing through his reads. That is a must at the next level. He comes from a pro-style offense, much more so than some of these other guys that he's competing with. One question I have, can he set up his pass catchers with better ball placement to maximize the yards after the catch? This stems from inconsistent footwork. That back foot especially, it gets off the ground too soon and it alters his posture, which often results in air balls. He misses a lot of free throws. He even misses some layups. Those gimmies that the NFL gives you, you can't fail on those, and he's just inconsistent in that regard. Bo Nix coming in at number 4. The strengths, experience. That's a word that has come up when we talk about Brock Purdy coming out of nowhere. That college experience means a lot. Nobody in the history of the NCAA football at the FBS level has started as many games as Bo Nix. He had 61 starts. He's 6th all-time in passing yards, and he has just under 2,000 yards and 38 rushing touchdowns. This is a guy that truly has gotten it done for a long time with both his arms and his legs. Ball security and the decision making. In 2023 alone, he had 51 total touchdowns, 45 of which were through the air. Just 3 interceptions and 2 fumbles. There was not a single quarterback with over 27 touchdowns and 3 or less interceptions. Bo Nix, 45 passing, 3 interceptions. We're talking about a rare level of production that cannot be ignored. One question I have with him, how much of that elite production derived from simple one-read plays? 130 of his 2023 passes and 8 of his touchdowns were thrown behind the line of scrimmage. How does that stack up? Drake Maye, 67 passes, 0 touchdowns. Jayden Daniels, 44 passes and just 2 touchdowns. Wrapping up the Ourlads top 5 current quarterback stack right now is Michael Penix from Washington. This is a guy that stays on time. He gets the ball out in a hurry. He understands urgency. And part of what I like about Penix can't be measured through stats. He is the most battle-tested quarterback in this class. And that is often the separator from a player reaching their potential and one that completely busts out of the league. He had 4 years of injuries, 2 to his knees, 2 to his shoulders. He's got more experience in bad weather than all these other quarterbacks. We know who Michael Penix is as a person. We know he can bounce back from adversity because of what he has in between the ears. On the field, the ball placement and the willingness to get the ball downfield. 117 passes of 20-plus yards down the field led the country. Nobody else in the country was above 100. The one question I have with him is how well will he respond to real NFL pass rush? We saw a glimpse of it against Michigan in the national championship. It was not pretty. Interceptions increased each of the past 3 years. We'd like to see that go in the other direction. And here's one thing that does cause for some hesitation putting him in the top 5. 42% completion percentage under pressure and a 68.5 passer rating. Bo Nix, 67% completion percentage and a 131.5 passer rating. J.J. McCarthy, 63% completion percentage and a 111.8 passer rating. So that is the current Ourlads top 5. A lot is going to be done between now and our final stacks, including the most important part. That's our scouting team coming together and coming up with our consensus. But that's where we stand right now. Thanks for watching, guys.